Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to be up with our content. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fundamental and empowering skills you can learn, making fire from scratch. In any survival situation, fire is your best friend. It provides warmth, purifies water, cooks food, wards off predators, and signals for help. It's the difference between a rough night and a survivable one. But what if you don't have a lighter or matches? That's where primitive fire starting techniques come in. In this video, we're going to cover 3 of the most classic methods: the bow drill, the hand drill, and the timeless flint and steel. Mastering these skills takes patience and practice, but it connects you to a legacy of human ingenuity that's thousands of years old. So grab your gear, and let's get ready to make some fire. First up, the bow drill. This is probably the most iconic friction fire method, and for good reason. It's incredibly efficient once you get the hang of it. The key to success is material selection. You need the right wood. For your spindle and your fireboard, you want a medium soft, non-resinous wood. Think woods like basswood, cedar, yucca, cottonwood, or willow. The wood must be completely dry. For the bow, you want a sturdy, slightly curved branch about the length of your arm. The cordage for your bow can be anything strong, like paracord, a shoelace, or even natural cordage you make yourself. Let's assemble the kit. First, your fireboard. It should be about an inch thick. Carve a small depression near the edge. Now, your spindle. It should be about 8 to 10 inches long and as straight as you can find, about the thickness of your thumb. Carve both ends to a point, one sharper than the other. The duller end goes into the handhold, and the sharper end goes into your fireboard. The handhold, or bearing block, is a piece of hardwood or even a smooth stone with a small divot to hold the top of your spindle. Lubricate this divot with some sap or even just some moisture to reduce friction. Now for the technique. Wrap the bowstring once on the spindle. Place the sharp end of the spindle into the depression on your fireboard. Place your foot on the board to hold it steady. Hold the top of the spindle with your bearing block and apply downward pressure. Now, start sawing the bow back and forth in long, smooth strokes. You'll see smoke and dark dust. That's your coal dust start to form. Once you've got a good pile of it, speed up your bowing. Increase the pressure. Keep going until you see a steady stream of smoke rising from the pile of dust even after you stop. That's your ember. Gently tap the board to release the ember into a tinder bundle you've prepared. What is a tinder bundle? This is your fire's first breath. It needs to be something incredibly fine, dry, and fluffy that can catch a spark or an ember easily. Think shredded cedar bark, dry grass, cattail fluff, or cotton. Shape it into a loose bird's nest. Now, carefully transfer your glowing ember from the fireboard into the center of this nest. Gently fold the tinder around the ember. Don't smother it. Now, you begin to blow. Start with soft, gentle breaths, giving it oxygen. As the smoke gets thicker and whiter, blow a little harder. The tinder will start to glow brighter and spread. Keep blowing steadily, and soon, with a whoosh, it will burst into flame. You did it. You created fire with a bow drill. It's an amazing feeling. Practice is everything here. Your first few tries might be frustrating, but don't give up. Experiment with different woods and refine your technique. Next, let's talk about a more challenging, but incredibly rewarding method: the hand drill. This is the bow drill's older, tougher sibling. It requires more endurance and a delicate touch. The principle is the same. Friction creates an ember, but instead of a bow, you're using the palms of your hands to spin the spindle. Material selection is even more critical here. You need the absolute best, driest, lightweight wood you can find. Yucca stalks are legendary for hand drills, as are elderberry, mule fat, and cedar. Your spindle will be longer and thinner than a bow drill spindle, maybe about 2 feet long and half an inch thick. The setup is similar. You'll have a fireboard with a notch, but the technique is all in the hands. You start at the top of the spindle, applying downward pressure while rolling it rapidly between your palms. As your hands move down the spindle, you have to transition smoothly back to the top without stopping the rotation. This is the hardest part to master. It's a fluid, almost dance-like motion. You have to float your hands back to the top while keeping the spindle spinning. This method is a true test of stamina. You need to pace yourself. It's not about pure speed, it's about sustained, consistent rotation and pressure. You'll feel the burn in your hands and your arms, but you have to push through it. Look for that familiar sign, a wisp of smoke and a growing pile of dark dust. Once you've built up a good pile, it's time for the final push. Give it everything you've got. Spin faster, push harder, and generate as much heat as you can in a short burst. Just like with the bow drill, you're looking for that self-sustaining ember. Once you have it, the process is the same. Carefully transfer it to your tinder bundle, nurture it with your breath, and bring your fire to life. The hand drill is a profound skill to learn. It connects you directly to the raw elements and teaches you a lot about patience and your own physical limits. Don't be discouraged if it takes you a long time to get your first hand drill ember. Most people struggle with it, but success is incredibly satisfying. Finally, we have the classic flint and steel. This method has been a staple for centuries, and it's much faster than friction fire if you have the right materials. The flint can be any hard, sharp-edged rock like chert, flint, or even quartzite. The steel is a high-carbon steel striker. You can buy these, or use the back of a carbon steel knife blade. The magic happens when you strike the sharp edge of the rock with the steel. Tiny shavings of steel are scraped off, and the friction of the strike heats them up, causing them to ignite as sparks. But these sparks are relatively cool and short-lived. They won't ignite regular tinder. You need something special, char cloth. Char cloth is just cotton fabric that's been cooked in an airtight container until it's blackened. It's pyrolyzed, meaning it will catch a spark and hold it as a glowing ember without bursting into flame. To make it, you just pack small squares of cotton cloth into a small metal tin, poke a tiny hole in the lid, and place it in a fire. Once the smoke stops coming out of the hole, your char cloth is ready. Let it cool completely before opening the tin. Now for the action. Hold a piece of your char cloth right on top of the sharp edge of your flint. With your other hand, strike the steel down against the edge of the flint, aiming for sparks to land directly on the char cloth. It might take a few strikes, but when a spark lands just right, you'll see a tiny orange glow appear on the black cloth. It will spread slowly across the fabric. Success! You've caught a spark. Now, you just treat this glowing piece of char cloth like you would an ember from a friction fire. Place it carefully into your tinder bundle and gently blow it into flame. Using flint and steel is a fast and reliable method, but it depends on you having a prepared material like char cloth. It's a great reminder that preparation is just as important as technique. So there you have it, 3 timeless methods for creating fire. The bow drill, a marvel of mechanical advantage. The hand drill, a true test of human endurance. And flint and steel, a classic partnership of rock and metal. Each one has its own challenges and rewards. None of them are easy, but all of them are achievable with practice. The most important thing you can do is get out there and try it for yourself. Don't wait for an emergency to learn these skills. Build the muscle memory now. Understand which materials work in your local area. The confidence you'll gain from creating fire with your own 2 hands, using only what nature provides, is immeasurable. It's a skill that connects you to our shared human history and empowers you for the future. Thanks for joining me on this journey into primitive fire making. I hope you found it inspiring. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing for more wilderness skills and survival content. Get out there, be safe, and keep practicing. We'll see you in the next one.